The year is 2019, it's about to be 2020, and 3 years ago we released a project called Rush. It was a Battlefield web series. We're not calling it Battlefield anymore due to a whole bunch of legal fiascos that happened along the way, but the point is...
And the idea was based around the game Gold Rush, and Gold Rush was started in Battlefield Bad Company, where you're going to destroy caches of gold. The idea is to have characters where there's 2 squads, and each person in that squad represents the basic classes of Battlefield: Assault, Recon, Support, and Engineer. So we wrote a story around this where it's basically taking that concept and turning it into an actual movie. And I'm really happy with how we managed to craft a story around that. I think it turned out really cool. Another thing is we got to work with real blank firing machine guns, real tanks, helicopters, great actors, all this amazing stuff.
We are releasing the project on our YouTube channel. This is a very special release. This is a remastered edition, and I'm not talking like a George Lucas reimagining, remastering kind of process. I'm talking about taking a project that, when it was originally released, was about 60% completed. I'm talking like literally sound design. There was multiple scenes upon its original release that had nothing in it except like a music track playing. Really awkward. A lot of the visual effects were handed off to like a really cheap overseas post house. Safe to say, the original release was pretty flawed, and we've done our best to remaster it. I've gone through and done a ton of new visual effects. Niko's applied a new color grade to the whole thing, and I've even gone through and fixed a ton of sound design. A lot of work has gone into it so far, and we're really excited to show it to you guys. I'm gonna show you a little bit today about what some of those updates are. So for this, we've basically taken 10 episodes and compressed them into 5, so that each one is nice and meaty. Let's start with the biggest one, because I think this is a great way to start. Imagine sitting in a theater of about 200 other crew members, cast members, seeing the premiere, and then having to watch this in front of them.
We had actual footage for that, they just didn't use it.
By the way, first time the explosion flies sideways to the left. And then he's just like, like, what is going on? Seeing that, it was the most embarrassing thing I've ever felt. That is why I started with this sequence.
Sam is very motivated when he gets angry.
Do you want to just straight up see what happened now?
Yeah.
I put in a lot of work. Beginning's still a little janky, can't fix it, but whoa, it gets way better. So I did that in like about a day or 2. I'm even still critiquing it now because there's issues, but it's way better. It's not cringeworthy. You're still like, oh, wow, some visual effects are happening, but you're not like, is this on iMovie? So ready for another Spice Meister? Before! They did hone in on the detail of making the window orange to signify that there was heat. But okay, so in this scene, the building is supposed to collapse. If you have a shot in a story that's supposed to communicate that something falls apart and it doesn't. So this shot, I was just like, all right, you know what? I'm not the best 3D artist, but I sure can some pixels.
Wow.
I literally took an image down from the ground and I projection mapped that onto a big ass structure. And then I took that big ass structure, I fragmented it. I went all in on this one because it's kind of what you needed to do. Oh shit! Whoa! So extra chunks, still gets pretty smoky at the end. So at least it communicates what the frickin' heck was supposed to happen in the scene. And I'm not trying to pretend that I'm a magic visual effects artist. I'm just trying to finish the dang shots that we set out to do.
The artists who did the smoke simulations didn't do that bad of a job. It's just they didn't have anything else to work with. Like the rest of the piece, they're like, here, do smoke simulations. It's like, what about the building collapsing? Like,
One of the very first things that we had to cut when we were confronted with the reality of not finishing this project were a lot of the bullet hits on people. Thankfully, we did have some blank firing guns on set and so a couple occasional squibs, so we felt like those kind of practical elements would kind of cover our asses. I just add like the smallest amount of blood for him. Originally, he's like, oh, look at the little blood. And then I frickin' John Wicked him and I put a splat on the wall and made him die. Bam! You know.
Oh, wow.
Same with this. Look at this idiot. He's like, his chest vapes. Bam!
Yeah, that's a little better.
So I can fix the squibs, I can add bullet hits, but I can't change bad acting. He runs through a door and goes like... here's another great example. So there's a missile helicopter sequence in this. What's wrong with this visual effect shot? The helicopter and the missile are moving through 3D space. The problem is that it looks like the visual effects artist here basically didn't account for like the wind, the turning of the helicopter and the world. The smoke is stuck to the helicopter. Like the whole background and the camera movement and all that stuff completely ignored. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to completely reconstruct this shot. I'm going to chop out the helicopter element, but I'm going to put in a brand new background so that way I can control how the helicopter moves through the environment. So the ground is fake, the sky is fake, the missile's fake, but the helicopter's real, and the 3D camera movement is real.
Missile inbound!
It just looks, the motion looks natural now. Everything like is spatially cohesive. And here's a great shot. Before! The missile's coming around to chase me! All right. And so we redid that one. Actually, Clint did this one. Rather than trying to re-render a new missile flying around in the sky, we're like, let's just do the camera's perspective of the missile. Like the thermal sensor, this is the replacement.
Boom.
There we go. Now we are communicating that our missile is locked back on. When it originally came out, Niko were like, man, the color grade sucks so bad. And I was sitting there going like, it wasn't that bad, was it? But after seeing what Niko's done to it, I'm like, oh, thanks. You've enlightened me finally. Like, you're right.
Also, I had this handy dandy black magic panel, which made it way faster. That was really nice. I felt really cool, like I was driving a spaceship. Like, I'm a professional.
So yeah, that's basically a good overview of the effects. There's a lot more. Could I keep working on it? Yes. But I think it serves the purpose right now of this piece. I brought it from like a solid like 2 out of 10 to like a 7 out of 10. Yeah.
73 effect shots in 10 days.
Yeah.
That's why it's not perfect, but it's definitely an improvement. So we have toiled away taking one of the biggest projects we've ever made and made it even better. It's on youtube.com/corridor, our Corridor channel. Link in the description below. It is so nice to be able to finally release it for everyone around the world to watch. If you've already seen it, you're gonna enjoy it even more this time because it's way better. If you haven't seen it yet, well, this is the perfect time to watch. 5 episodes, go enjoy it.
You like them, didn't you? I've never felt anything like it. They're alive because of you.